The example that Jesus gave us is timeless and universal. It is to enter the world of those who suffer, to make a difference to their lives, and so bring hope where there is despair.
The unexpected decision made by King Charles sent shockwaves through the royal family, leaving even those closest to him stunned. The move was a culmination of underlying tensions within the family, and it quickly became a topic of intense speculation in the media. For months, rumors had circulated about disagreements between the royal family members, with various factions within the institution reportedly at odds over the future direction of the monarchy. Despite these tensions, no one had anticipated a decision of such magnitude from the king. King Charles, who had always been seen as a figure of stability and tradition, made a choice that went against the expectations of many. Known for his steady and measured approach to leadership, his sudden shift caught the family and the public off guard. What made the decision particularly shocking was the fact that it seemed to contradict the values that Charles had long championed: loyalty to family, respect for tradition, and a commitment to the monarchy's collective good. The decision, which appeared to be a carefully thought-out response to a series of unresolved issues, was seen as a defining moment of his reign. It was clear that this was not a spontaneous or reactionary move, rather, it seemed to be the result of long-standing frustrations that had been bubbling beneath the surface. There had been whispers of subtle power struggles within the family, and this decision brought those tensions to the forefront in a way that could not be ignored. As the decision was made public, the fallout was swift. The royal family, already under intense scrutiny from the media and the public, found itself facing a crisis that threatened to undermine the unity of the monarchy. Members of the family, including Queen Consort Camilla, were taken aback, struggling to understand the rationale behind such a move. What had prompted King Charles to take such a bold step, and why did it seem to come without prior warning? At the heart of the decision was the growing realization that the monarchy's future was in jeopardy if certain issues were left unaddressed. King Charles's actions were seen as a necessary step in reasserting control over the institution, but they also revealed deep cracks in the royal family's unity. His choice forced the royal family to confront difficult questions about its structure, the role of individual family members, and the balance between tradition and modernity. The decision left many questioning whether the monarchy could survive such internal divisions. Yet it also marked a turning point for King Charles. By making a bold move that shocked his family and the public, he was signaling that he was willing to take the necessary actions to preserve the monarchy, even if it meant upsetting the status quo. The ramifications of this decision would be felt for years to come, reshaping the royal family's future and challenging the institution to evolve in a rapidly changing world. Camilla's controversial action with the royal villa became the catalyst for one of the most significant rifts within the royal family. The incident, which initially seemed like a minor matter of property management, quickly escalated into a scandal that exposed deeper tensions among the royals. The royal villa, a historic estate that had long been part of the royal family's legacy, was a symbol of continuity and unity. Traditionally, it was considered a shared family asset, meant to be maintained and used for collective royal functions. However, in a decision that shocked many, Camilla took unilateral control of the villa, repurposing it for her personal use without consulting King Charles or other family members. This move was perceived as a direct challenge to the established norms and traditions of the monarchy. For Camilla, who had long been navigating her role as queen consort, this was seen as an attempt to assert greater control over the royal family's resources. The villa was not just a house, it represented the royal family's public image and the integrity of its collective ownership. By claiming it as her own, Camilla's actions were viewed as undermining the values of unity and shared responsibility that had been central to the monarchy for centuries. Within the royal family, reactions were swift and severe. Princess Anne, known for her no-nonsense approach to royal duties, was particularly vocal in her disapproval. She believed that Camilla's actions were not only inappropriate but also dangerous for the stability of the monarchy. The villa was seen as a key asset, both in terms of its historical significance and its role in maintaining the monarchy's legacy. To Princess Anne, this was not just a personal matter, it was an issue of principle. The monarchy's assets, she argued, should never be the property of one individual, but rather should remain under the stewardship of the entire family. The fallout from the incident was immediate. The royal family found itself embroiled in a public controversy, and tensions that had long been simmering beneath the surface came to a head. King Charles, who had always been seen as a stabilizing force within the family, now found himself in the midst of a difficult decision. Should he support his wife, Camilla, or heed the advice of his sister, Anne, and protect the integrity of the monarchy? The villa incident was not an isolated issue, but part of a growing concern about Camilla's influence within the royal family. Critics began questioning her role and her ability to balance personal ambition with her responsibilities as queen consort. The decision to take control of the royal villa, though seemingly minor in the broader context of royal affairs, revealed the complexities of Camilla's position within the monarchy. She had spent years earning her place by Charles's side, navigating public opinion and fulfilling her duties as a supportive spouse. Yet this action signaled a shift in her approach, one that was seen by some as a power grab. The controversy over the villa raised important questions about the future of the monarchy, its leadership, and the role of its consorts. In the wake of this scandal, King Charles was faced with the challenge of managing both his personal relationships and his duty to the institution. As the family grappled with the implications of Camilla's actions, it became clear that the monarchy was at a crossroads. The villa incident not only exposed cracks in the family's unity, but also highlighted the tension between tradition and modernity, as well as the pressures of maintaining a centuries-old institution in a rapidly changing world. The reactions from Princess Anne and other members of the royal family to Camilla's controversial decision regarding the royal villa were swift and intense, marking a pivotal moment in the internal dynamics of the monarchy. Princess Anne, known for her unwavering commitment to the royal family's traditions and values, was particularly outspoken in her disapproval. She had long been seen as the monarch's staunch ally when it came to preserving the integrity of the royal family. Her reaction to Camilla's actions revealed the depths of her belief in the importance of collective ownership and unity within the family. For Anne, the royal villa was more than just a property. It was a symbol of the monarchy's shared heritage and continuity, something that could not be treated as a personal asset. The villa had been used by the royal family for generations, representing a space where important family gatherings and events had taken place. To her, Camilla's decision to take control of the villa for personal use was not only a breach of protocol, but also a direct challenge to the fundamental principles that had guided the royal family for centuries. In Anne's view, this action could have serious consequences for the monarchy's image, threatening to undermine the unity and public trust that the royal family had built over time. Anne's reaction was not just an expression of personal disapproval, it was a call to protect the monarchy from what she saw as a potential threat. Behind closed doors, Princess Anne reportedly voiced her concerns to King Charles, stressing the need to restore order and preserve the monarchy's collective nature. She emphasized that the royal villa should remain a family property, managed collectively and used for the good of the institution, rather than being appropriated by any one individual. Her stance was clear: the monarchy should not be divided over personal interests, and the royal assets should be protected for future generations. While Anne's reaction was the most publicized, it was clear that other members of the royal family were also concerned about the ramifications of Camilla's actions. Prince Edward, the Queen's youngest son, and his wife Sophie, Countess of Wessex, were reportedly less vocal but equally uneasy about the situation. Although they did not challenge Camilla directly, their quiet disapproval reflected the growing unease within the family. The controversy surrounding the royal villa also put a spotlight on other unresolved tensions within the royal household, particularly regarding the role of Camilla as queen consort. King Charles, caught between loyalty to his wife and his duty to the monarchy, found himself in a difficult position. The fallout from the villa controversy forced him to confront the mounting divisions within his family, including those between Camilla and Anne. While Charles had long been seen as a stabilizing force, this incident revealed the strains in his leadership. The support of his sister, Princess Anne, who had always been a steadfast champion of royal traditions, was critical in guiding his decisions moving forward. The reactions to Camilla's actions also extended beyond the immediate family. Key royal aides and advisors were reportedly divided, with some aligning themselves with Anne's position on the matter, while others sought to minimize the fallout, suggesting that the controversy might be overblown. However, the underlying tension within the royal family was undeniable, and it became clear that the villa incident had exacerbated existing concerns about the direction of the monarchy. In the aftermath of the villa scandal, the royal family was forced to reassess the role of Camilla, not only as queen consort but as a member of the royal household with significant influence over royal assets. The incident exposed the complexities of her position within the family, as well as the delicate balance between personal ambition and institutional responsibility. For Princess Anne, The situation reinforced her long-standing belief that the monarchy's strength lay in its unity and adherence to tradition, values that she would continue to uphold regardless of the personal cost. Tensions over Camilla's influence and role within the royal family had been simmering for years, and the controversy surrounding the royal villa only served to magnify the underlying issues. While Camilla had long been a prominent figure by King Charles's side, her position as queen consort was fraught with complexities, and her increasing visibility within the monarchy began to spark questions about her long-term role and influence. For much of their marriage, King Charles and Camilla were seen as a united front, with Charles steadfastly supporting her despite the sometimes public criticism that followed their relationship. However, the situation within the royal family was more nuanced. Princess Anne, in particular, had always expressed concerns about Camilla's role, not out of personal animosity, but because of her commitment to preserving the traditional values of the monarchy. Camilla, as the second wife of King Charles, was seen by some as an outsider to the royal lineage, and her assertive presence in royal matters raised questions about her influence over key decisions. As Camilla became more involved in royal duties, her actions began to challenge the established norms. The royal villa scandal was just one instance of this, but it was indicative of a broader trend. Her decisions often seemed to reflect a desire for autonomy and control, a desire to assert her place within the royal family. The move to take control of the royal villa for personal use, without consulting King Charles or other family members, was seen as an example of her growing independence. While some saw this as an expression of confidence and leadership, others saw it as an infringement on royal traditions. Princess Anne, with her firm belief in the monarchy's history and collective approach to royal matters, viewed this as a serious breach. To Anne, the royal family was built on unity, not individualism, and any move that threatened this unity was unacceptable. Camilla's actions were perceived not only as a violation of tradition but also as a sign of her growing influence, which Anne and others within the family felt was becoming increasingly disproportionate. The influence that Camilla had on King Charles was another point of contention. As king, Charles had a responsibility to maintain the balance within the royal family and ensure that the monarchy remained a symbol of unity and continuity. However, his relationship with Camilla, while deeply personal, also blurred the lines between family loyalty and institutional duty. Camilla's role as queen consort, which was meant to be supportive, often seemed to overshadow the contributions of other family members, particularly Anne, who had always been seen as a key figure in maintaining the monarchy's traditions. Tensions escalated further when rumors of disagreements between Camilla and other members of the royal family began to surface. Many felt that Camilla's influence was expanding beyond what was deemed appropriate for a queen consort. There were whispers of her involvement in matters of state, royal assets, and even the management of certain royal duties that were traditionally managed by others within the family. Her growing visibility and assertiveness were seen by some as a sign of a power struggle within the royal family, one that could have lasting consequences for the monarchy's future. While King Charles remained supportive of his wife, he also had to confront the reality of these tensions. His loyalty to Camilla was unwavering, but he was also keenly aware of the need to preserve the monarchy's integrity. The friction between Camilla and other royal family members, particularly Princess Anne, forced him to navigate a delicate balance between family loyalty and the demands of his role as king. As the tensions continued to rise, it became clear that Camilla's influence was reshaping the royal family's dynamic. Her actions and decisions, while often made with the best intentions, were beginning to rattle the family's carefully constructed image. The monarchy's ability to adapt to a changing world was being tested, and at the heart of the issue was Camilla's evolving role. Her growing prominence within the royal family was both a sign of her increasing power and a source of concern for those who saw her as a threat to the stability of the institution. In the wake of these tensions, the royal family was forced to reevaluate the delicate balance between tradition and modernity. The question of Camilla's influence was not just about her position as queen consort, it was about the future of the monarchy itself. Would the royal family be able to reconcile the need for tradition with the changing role of women and spouses in modern royal life? Or would the tensions over Camilla's role ultimately lead to a reshaping of the monarchy's structure and function? Only time would tell. Princess Anne's intervention and advice to King Charles played a pivotal role in the events that followed the royal villa controversy, particularly as tensions within the family reached a boiling point. As one of the most senior members of the royal family, Anne's opinions carried significant weight, and her long-standing commitment to the monarchy's traditions made her a powerful figure when it came to advising on matters of protocol and family dynamics. The incident surrounding the royal villa, in which Camilla took unilateral control of the property for her personal use, became a flashpoint that exposed deeper underlying tensions within the royal family. While King Charles had long been a staunch supporter of his wife and her role as queen consort, the controversy over the villa caused him to reconsider the broader implications of Camilla's actions. This was where Princess Anne's influence became crucial. Having spent decades at the heart of royal life, Anne's understanding of the monarchy's traditions, values, and long-term stability made her perspective invaluable to the king. From Anne's viewpoint, the royal villa wasn't just a piece of property, it was a symbol of the monarchy's legacy, and any move to claim it for personal use represented a serious breach of royal protocol. She believed that royal assets, including estates and properties, should remain in collective ownership to preserve the unity of the royal family and safeguard the monarchy's future. For Anne, Camilla's decision to take control of the villa was not just about the physical property, it represented a shift toward individualism that threatened the institution of the monarchy itself. Anne's reaction to the villa scandal was swift and decisive. She viewed Camilla's actions as a challenge to the monarchy's traditional values, which emphasized unity, tradition, and collective responsibility. Anne felt strongly that such breaches of protocol could not be tolerated, especially given the position of the royal family in the eyes of the public. Her decades of service had ingrained in her a deep sense of duty to the institution, and she was willing to act in its defense, even if it meant challenging the actions of her brother's wife. Beyond the immediate issue of the villa, Anne's concerns extended to the broader question of Camilla's role within the royal family. As queen consort, Camilla had assumed a significant public presence, but Anne feared that this growing visibility could undermine the collective leadership of the royal family. The question of whether Camilla's influence over King Charles was becoming too pronounced was one that Anne could not ignore. In her view, the royal family's strength lay in its unity, and any move to elevate one member at the expense of the others could create rifts that would be difficult to repair. Anne's advice to King Charles was grounded in her belief that the monarchy could not afford to be divided over personal interests or individual ambitions. She encouraged Charles to reaffirm his commitment to the values that had sustained the royal family for generations and to take steps to ensure that no one member's actions could jeopardize the monarchy's unity and public image. Although Anne's approach was direct and no-nonsense, it was rooted in a deep sense of responsibility to the crown and its future. Despite the potentially difficult nature of her advice, Anne's words resonated with King Charles. As much as he valued his wife's support, he was also aware of the need to maintain the stability and reputation of the royal family. Anne's intervention gave him a clearer perspective on how to navigate the delicate balance between loyalty to his wife and his duty as monarch. He understood that the monarchy could not afford to appear divided or to prioritize individual desires over the collective good. Anne's intervention was not just about addressing the immediate issue of the villa. It was a broader reminder of the importance of tradition, duty, and the preservation of the monarchy's legacy. Her steadfast commitment to these principles made her a crucial voice in the discussions that followed the controversy. While King Charles ultimately made his own decisions, Anne's guidance was instrumental in helping him understand the full scope of the situation and its potential long-term consequences for the royal family. In the aftermath of the villa scandal, Anne's role in advising her brother highlighted the complex dynamics within the royal family. While Anne's relationship with Camilla had never been characterized by deep personal warmth, her interventions were always motivated by a deep sense of duty to the crown. As the royal family navigated this crisis, it became clear that Anne's influence, though sometimes contentious, was crucial in ensuring that the monarchy remained united and resilient in the face of challenges. King Charles's agonizing decision in the wake of the royal villa controversy marked a critical juncture in his reign, testing both his leadership and personal relationships. As the monarchy's figurehead, he was faced with a choice that would not only impact his family dynamics but also shape the future of the royal institution. The royal villa, a symbol of unity and tradition, had been repurposed by his wife Camilla for personal use, defying his wishes and igniting tensions within the royal family. Charles, deeply loyal to his wife yet equally committed to the monarchy, found himself at a crossroads. He understood the importance of maintaining family harmony, but he also recognized the need to preserve the integrity of the royal institution. The intervention of his sister, Princess Anne, who questioned Camilla's growing influence, added weight to his dilemma. As pressure mounted from within the family, Charles's decision became not just about the villa, but about the balance between personal loyalties and his duty to uphold the monarchy's legacy. The king's ultimate choice was not made lightly. It reflected a commitment to ensuring the monarchy's future stability, even if it meant navigating difficult family relationships and making sacrifices for the greater good.